I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. We are tracking this line of very strong storms coming into Alabama from Mississippi. And, you know, if you look outside your window right now, it actually looks pretty nice. We have some sunshine, a few puffy clouds out there. These are not the rain producers, but this sun is not a good thing. That's just adding to some more heating and the instability before these storms come in a little bit later on tonight. Here is the system that we're watching. You can see them, this line right here back into Mississippi. Just look at this. Almost too many warnings to count here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 tornado warnings, and then within here like 6 or 7 severe thunderstorm warnings as well as this line moves through Mississippi. Here's the Alabama and Mississippi line. So these storms are approaching that area, and there's a new tornado watch in effect for much of south and western Alabama, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is extended more over eastward later on tonight, and then maybe into Georgia during the overnight hours as well, as this line of storms is going to be moving closer to us. Out there right now, you can see in town we have sunshine here, looking really nice. We're looking down on 85 and the Buford Highway connector. This is just north of the downtown connector. And then right now in Gwinnett County in Duluth, as we're looking toward the west, you can see just a few of those puffy clouds out there. Some of them look like they have some moisture in association with them, but they're not producing any rain. So let's break down those threats for you as we go through the nighttime hours. You can see the enhanced risk for storms. That lines up with exactly where I just showed you those strongest storms through Louisiana, Mississippi, moving into Alabama. That's the level 3 out of 5 risk. Now the yellow color indicates level 2 of 5. That's the slight risk. That comes into West Georgia later on tonight. Then it becomes a marginal risk from Atlanta and Athens over to the east of us. But don't put your guard down there, because this is kind of tricky showing these convective outlooks, because the system's coming in overnight. And then during the day on Friday, those storms are going to fire up again over on the east side toward Athens, Macon, and then an enhanced risk for much of southeast Georgia and over into the Carolinas. So let's walk through the timing. Tonight, most of the evening hours will be dry. Here we are at 11 o'clock, still no rain here. Here's a look at the storms as they're approaching our area. This timeline delays it just a little bit, coming in between, let's say, midnight and 2 into northwest Georgia. Then once we get to 4 o'clock in the morning on the west side of Atlanta, covering much of west Georgia between 2 and 4, and then in the Atlanta area between 4 and 6 o'clock, slicing through up through Duluth, Gainesville, Blairsville, on down to the south and west as well. The strongest storms by 8 o'clock we think will be east of the city, but through Gwinnett County, Newton County, approaching Athens, we think between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning. And then once that moves out of here, the severe weather threat will be over for us, but there will still be some lingering off and on light showers back behind this for the afternoon hours here on Friday, with cooler air in place with a high of only 68. On Saturday, still not totally dry, but not a washout either. We're going to have about a 30% chance for some off and on light showers. Easter Sunday looking good. It's going to be chilly in the morning for sunrise services in the mid 40s, but then we warm back up into the mid 70s in the afternoon, and then lower 80s Monday and Tuesday with sunshine, a few more clouds Wednesday, and then about a 30% chance for a shower moving back in by Thursday.
Chris, thank you.